Imagine living in a society where simply possessing a Bible could land you in grave danger, such as imprisonment or worse. Some countries consider a simple Bible to be so dangerous that they have outright banned it. If you find yourself in possession of a simple Bible, the consequences could be far more terrifying than a nightmare. For the leaders in these places, it's not just any book, it's a symbol of hope, freedom, and a power they can't control. We're about to embark on a journey to 7 countries where the outlawing of the Bible forces people to conceal their faith like a hidden treasure. It's a story full of bravery, danger, and incredible strength. You'll hear about people who risk everything, even their lives, just to read a few verses. While you may have a dusty Bible on your shelf, there are kids, mums, and dads who would do anything just to hold one for a moment. And trust me, as we go through each of these places, the last one on the list will leave you absolutely stunned. Imagine not being able to pray out loud or even talk about your beliefs without fear. For many, owning a Bible is considered an act of rebellion in their daily lives. Throughout history, religious persecution isn't new. Ancient Rome threw Christians into arenas with wild animals solely because of their faith. But here's the thing, it's not just history. Even in the 21st century, some regions still view the Bible as a dangerous book and impose harsh punishments on those who possess one. Countries like North Korea, Saudi Arabia, and Iran have some of the strictest rules against Christianity today. The government in North Korea views the Bible as a direct threat to its control. The Kim family has led a totalitarian regime in North Korea since 1948. They force people to worship their leader as if he's a god, and they treat any suggestion of a different higher power as an attack. In this country, if you're found with a Bible, you can be sent to Kwanlizo, which are brutal labor camps where conditions are so terrible that many never come back. Defectors' testimonies reveal that the confiscation of entire families, including young children, has occurred due to the discovery of a Bible. In Saudi Arabia, which is home to Mecca, the holiest city in Islam, the story is different but just as intense. Here, the government adheres to a strict interpretation of Islam known as Wahhabism. These rules prohibit the practice of any religion other than Islam. They arrest, question, and even deport individuals who attempt to read a Bible in private. The Mutawa, or religious police, patrol the streets, making sure that no one is practicing a different faith. It's a place where many people hide their Bibles inside their homes and read in secret, hoping that no one knocks on their door unexpectedly. Since the Islamic Revolution of 1979, the government has imposed Sharia law, where Islam guides all rules and punishments. While the Iranian constitution officially recognizes some religious minorities like Christians, it's a very different reality for those who convert to Christianity from Islam. The government sees these converts as a threat to the country's identity, and many of them are arrested and charged with acting against national security. The charge is broad, which means the government can arrest people just for reading the Bible in private or meeting with other Christians in hidden groups called house churches. It's a life where faith is a risky secret, hidden away from the watchful eyes of the authorities. Even though international laws, like those from the United Nations, recognize the freedom of religion as a basic human right, these countries have their own rules that suppress this freedom. For example, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted in 1948, says everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. But in these countries, following that right can mean risking everything you have. This kind of oppression isn't just about governments cracking down on people. It's about fear. Fear of losing control, fear of different ideas, and fear that one small book could change the way people think. The believers in these places are afraid but brave. Despite the risks, many continue to hold on to their faith, knowing that every day they live with the possibility of being discovered. The essence of faith as resistance lies in the notion that individuals remain steadfast in their beliefs, even when confronted with overwhelming pressure. For these Christians, their belief isn't just about worship, it's a way to hold on to their sense of self when everything else tries to take it away. Even though they live under constant surveillance and threats, their quiet determination shows that some things like hope and belief are stronger than fear. What makes this resistance so powerful is that it doesn't rely on weapons or violence. It's the kind of resistance that comes from the heart. It's the choice to keep believing even when doing so might cost you everything. It's in the story of a person who whispers a prayer as they hide their Bible under the floorboards, or the bravery of a mother who teaches her child Bible verses so they can remember them, even if they never see a physical Bible again. In these countries, where persecution is meant to crush any sign of Christianity, faith finds a way to survive. It's like a seed planted in the cracks of a sidewalk. It doesn't seem like it should be able to grow, but somehow it pushes through. As long as individuals maintain their faith, it transforms into a steadfast light that defies the efforts of those in authority. This isn't just a story of hardship, it's a story of incredible strength and the human spirit's ability to keep going, even in the darkest times. For the people in these countries, their faith is more than a belief system. It's their way of standing up against forces that try to control every part of their lives. And through this resistance, they remind the world that true strength often comes from the most unexpected places. The Maldives might seem like a paradise with its stunning beaches and crystal-clear waters, but beneath this beautiful image lies a harsh reality for Christians. Here, the Constitution strictly enforces that all citizens must be Muslims. Practicing any other religion, especially Christianity, is not just illegal. It's considered a serious threat to the nation's identity. In the Maldives, even possessing a Bible can lead to arrest, imprisonment, or worse. Christian residents, mostly from foreign countries, have to hide their Bibles deep in their homes. They commit verses and prayers to memory, as any hint of their faith could lead to expulsion from the country or severe penalties. For them, living their faith means walking a fine line between hope and fear every single day. Being a Christian in Somalia poses significant risks. Since the government collapsed in 1991, militant groups like Al-Shabaab have taken control of large parts of the country. These groups impose a strict interpretation of Islamic law and are fiercely hostile to any other beliefs. For Christians in Somalia, practicing their faith means living in the shadows. They are unable to hold open meetings, and the mere possession of a Bible can result in immediate execution. It's so dangerous that some believers literally dig holes to hide their Bibles underground or memorize scriptures, as the risk of carrying one is too great. Testimonies from those who manage to escape paint a terrifying picture of people who must pray in secret, whispering their words into the night to avoid overhearing. Afghanistan has become an extremely dangerous place for Christians, especially after the Taliban regained power in 2021. The Taliban strictly enforces Sharia law, which sees converting to Christianity as an unforgivable crime. Even the suspicion of possessing a Bible or displaying interest in Christianity could result in severe punishments, including death. For Christians in Afghanistan, their faith must remain a well-guarded secret. We hide digital Bibles, Bible apps, and any Christian materials on phones or computers, as even a single verse on a device could put a person in grave danger. Many believers have destroyed their physical Bibles out of fear, but they cling to the words they've memorized, repeating them in the quiet moments when they feel safe. Think about how there are people memorizing entire chapters of the Bible because they know they might never see a physical copy again. They understand that each verse is precious, each word like a hidden message of hope. And here we are, with the freedom to read and study without anyone watching over our shoulders. But sometimes we leave those books untouched, collecting dust on our shelves. This distinction can serve as a poignant reminder. While others live in fear of being caught with a Bible, We can openly attend religious gatherings or listen to sermons online without any worries. For some people, this seems ordinary, but in reality, it's a huge privilege, a gift that not everyone has. It's like having a flashlight in the dark while others are trying to find their way by memory, hoping they won't stumble. This comparison can make us think about how we use the freedom we have. Are we making the most of our opportunities to learn, grow, and share with others? Or are we sometimes letting our comfort make us forget the struggles others face every day? Remember, having the ability to believe what you want, read what you want, and express your thoughts is something many people only dream of. But caring isn't always enough. There's a responsibility to act. Living in places that protect religious freedom gives us the opportunity to advocate for those who cannot. We can support organizations that work to promote human rights, spread awareness about these issues on social media, and even reach out to our own leaders, asking them to take action. By doing these things, we're using our freedom to help others find a little bit of hope in their darkest times. Think about it this way. Imagine you're standing safely on a bridge while others are struggling in the waters below. You have a choice. You can either watch and hope things get better, or you can reach out a hand and try to help them to safety. This is what solidarity looks like. Choosing to help others, even in a small way, is more than knowing they're suffering. Remember this powerful fact. Despite the silence surrounding those facing persecution in their own countries, their stories can serve as a catalyst for global change. When we share their stories, we're shining a light on their bravery and bringing attention to their plight. It serves as a reminder to all that the struggle for freedom remains unresolved, with numerous battles still awaiting victory. This sense of shared responsibility doesn't only help those facing persecution, it can change us too. It heightens our awareness of the privileges we enjoy and increases our gratitude for the freedoms denied to others. It pushes us to stand up for what's right, to speak out against injustice, and to support those who have the courage to keep their faith, even when the world around them tries to crush it. It's like being a part of a team where each person plays an important role. Some people are on the front lines, facing danger head-on, while others, like us, have the opportunity to support them from afar. We might not all be able to face the same risks, but we can still be part of their journey by standing up and showing that we care. Solidarity and responsibility mean standing together no matter how far apart we are. It means recognizing that while we might live in different worlds, our values can connect us. And when we take that connection and turn it into action, we become part of a story that's bigger than ourselves. A story where every act of kindness, every prayer, and every voice raised for justice makes a difference. Now it's time to talk about the final country, Pakistan. Unlike the others, Pakistan doesn't have an outright ban on Christianity or the Bible, but its laws create a dangerously hostile environment for those who choose to follow a different faith. Believers in this place constantly fear accusations of blasphemy, a word that can instantly upend their world. In Pakistan, the blasphemy laws are incredibly strict. They allow anyone to accuse another person of insulting Islam or the Prophet Muhammad, and the consequences can be terrifying. Life in prison or even the death penalty. But the scariest part is how easily these laws can be used against people. Sometimes people perceive owning a Bible or discussing Christian beliefs as a threat. All it takes is a single accusation, and suddenly a person's life is at risk. Even if the courts don't condemn them, angry mobs often take the law into their own hands. In 2009, a disagreement with her neighbors led to the accusation of blasphemy against Asia Bibi, a Christian woman. She endured nearly a decade on death row, living in fear and isolation until her final acquittal in 2018. But even after her release, the danger didn't disappear. She had to flee the country, leaving behind her home and everything she knew, simply because of her beliefs. Her story shows just how dangerous life can be for Christians in Pakistan, even when they haven't broken any law. If this story is moving you, if you're feeling inspired by the courage and resilience of these believers, consider showing your support by hitting that super thanks button below. Your contribution is making a difference, helping us create more content that sheds light on stories that matter. The real shock lies in the fact that, unlike the other countries we've discussed, Pakistan presents itself as a democracy with a judicial system. Yet, the power of public opinion and religious extremism can outweigh the courts, turning lives upside down over the smallest suspicion. Fear often overshadows justice in this place, where even a whisper of Christianity can ignite violence. Their struggles and stories aren't just about faraway lands. They're a reminder that freedom isn't a guarantee for everyone. It's a privilege, and with that privilege comes the opportunity to make a difference. Maybe you can't change the world overnight, but you can share their stories, raise awareness, and support those who are on the front lines of this battle for the right to believe. This journey isn't just about finding out where the Bible is illegal. It's about understanding what people are willing to risk for a belief that gives them hope. And it's about realizing that even in places where hope is buried deep, it finds a way to shine through. Remember that freedom is precious, but it's also fragile. It's a treasure that we should protect, not just for ourselves, but for those who can't yet share in it. Let their courage inspire us to make a difference, however small, in the world around us. Sometimes, even a small amount of light can combat the deepest darkness. The bravery of these believers shows us that faith can be stronger than fear, and that hope can survive even in the darkest places. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.